You know, I have been watching Caitlin play since she was an 8th grader, when I was coaching at the college realm and covering her games in college, and just an exciting time for me. Very excited to be working with her and this young team.
Remember when Stephanie White first noticed a young Caitlin Clark back in 8th grade? Well, fast forward to today, White is now the head coach of the Indiana Fever, and Clark is her star player. Talk about coming full circle, but here's the kicker, White has been a huge fan of Clark for years. Now, she gets to coach her firsthand and watch her talent up close. This isn't just another coach-player pairing, it's a perfect match that's about to shake up the WNBA. So, what does White really think about her new superstar? Her praise for Clark over the years might surprise you. In this video, we'll dive into their long-standing connection, White's thoughts on Clark, and how this partnership could turn the Fever into serious championship contenders. Before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Ready? Let's jump in.
She's obviously called a lot of my games all throughout college, and I just think she has a really great basketball mind. I think she's done a great job calling college games. It's been great to see her on NBA games. I think what she's done is just, she's obviously, you know, she's been a trailblazer, honestly. I think she's always been somebody that's been supportive of my game, and it's been fun to talk to her at shoot-arounds throughout my college career, and always been really supportive.
Guess what? The stars have aligned for the Indiana Fever, and things are about to get exciting. Stephanie White isn't just any coach, she's Indiana basketball royalty. She's been living and breathing the game since her days growing up in West Lebanon, Indiana. But why did she leave Connecticut when everything was going so well? Let's break it down. White isn't just coming back, she's returning to family. This is the same Stephanie White who dominated at Seeger High School, earning titles like Indiana Miss Basketball, Gatorade National Player of the Year, and USA Today National Player of the Year in 1995. Impressive, right? But she was just getting started. White took her talents to Purdue, where she led the team to its first and only NCAA championship in 1999. A legend in the making, and Indiana wasn't done with her yet. The Fever selected White in the 2000 expansion draft, and for 5 seasons, she helped put this team on the map. Now, she's back, ready to lead the Fever into a new era.
It was then on to the WNBA, where after one season in Charlotte, her hometown Indiana Fever were preparing for their inaugural season in 2000, when they made their first trade in franchise history, acquiring the local legend Stephanie White.
But Stephanie White's real magic was just getting started. Fast forward to her coaching career, she served as an assistant coach for the Fever from 2011 to 2014, playing a key role in their championship run alongside legendary coach Lynn Dunn, Tamika Catchings, and yes, Kelly Krauskopf, who is now the Fever's president. Then came her big moment. White was promoted to head coach in 2015, and in her very first season, she led the Fever to the WNBA Finals. After 2 seasons, she shifted to the college ranks, working as both a coach and an analyst before making her return to the WNBA with the Connecticut Sun, and what a return it was. In just 2 seasons, she turned the Sun into a powerhouse, posting a 55-25 record, securing back-to-back playoff appearances, and earning the 2023 WNBA Coach of the Year award. Under her leadership, the Sun reached the semifinals both years, but for White, Indiana has always been home. In her own words, first and foremost, it's home. This is a franchise that's in my DNA. Now, she's back where she belongs, ready to lead the Fever into a new era.
Yeah, at different points, you think back and you're like, man, that was pretty cool.
You can't make this stuff up. It's like the basketball gods scripted the ultimate comeback story. But here's where it gets really interesting. Remember that 8th grade phenom White spotted years ago? Yep, that was Caitlin Clark. White has been following Clark's rise from the very beginning, and now she gets to coach her. Talk about a full circle moment, and White isn't shy about her admiration for Clark. She's calling her a generational player and is absolutely thrilled about the Fever's young roster. Remember what White said the moment Clark was drafted?
Caitlin isn't just great for women's basketball. She is great for the entire game. She's more than just points.
She absolutely is. I mean, let's not forget, this is a young woman who led the nation in assists as well. She's accomplished records that haven't ever been accomplished in the sport of collegiate basketball.
With back-to-back Rookies of the Year in Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, plus star veterans like Kelsey Mitchell and Lexi Hull, Stephanie White has a goldmine of talent to work with. So why is she the perfect coach for this new era of Fever basketball? Simple, she's lived it all. From high school standout to college champion, from WNBA player to head coach, White knows Indiana basketball better than anyone. Now, she's back with one goal, bringing another WNBA championship to Indiana.
When the unbelievable opportunity became available to return home to again coach the Indiana Fever with the goal of bringing the WNBA championship trophy back to Indiana.
But wait, there's more to this story than just White's return. When the news broke that White was hired, guess who was one of the first to react? That's right, Caitlin Clark. She took to social media with a Fever shout-out that had fans going wild. It's clear these two are ready to take the league by storm, and Clark wasn't the only one excited. One by one, the rest of the team followed suit, sharing their own reactions on social media. The energy around this team is electric. If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. We appreciate you spending your time with us. Now, let's get back to the action.
Caitlin Clark is just at the epitome of the intersection of social media, of pop culture, and fan engagement in a way that we've never seen, and she's moving the needle forward for all athletes.
Think Caitlin Clark was just going to waltz into the WNBA and dominate from day one? Think again, her start was rough. Remember all the pre-draft hype? All those reality is coming warnings? It was non-stop. But when reality actually hit, it hit hard. Suddenly, people were questioning if Clark was the real deal. The critics came out in full force, Cheryl Swoops became relevant again, everyone was dissecting every missed shot, every turnover, but here's where it gets interesting. While everyone else was busy doubting Clark, guess who stepped up to defend her? That's right, Stephanie White. The same coach who had been watching Clark since she was a teenager wasn't about to let the "Clark is a bust" talk slide, and when White spoke up, she didn't hold back. You want to know what she said?
When I'm, looking at all these things that people are talking about with Caitlin Clark, it's like, guys, chill out. Like, she's gonna be fine. Like, it's 2 games in. Are you kidding me? She's a student of the game. She got better every year. You're not going to just absorb all of the new information that's coming at you in 2 games, in 2 weeks. It takes time. And she will. I have no doubt about it. She's a student of the game. She continues to get better. And these are also points that coaches then address. Hey, let's continue to work on this.
While others saw a struggling rookie, Stephanie White saw a fighter, a baller who wasn't about to let a few rough games define her career. But wait, it gets better. White didn't just defend Clark, she doubled down, praising her basketball IQ and work ethic like it was going out of style. She's a student of the game. She loves basketball, White said. It was like she saw something the rest of the world was missing. So what did White see that had her so fired up? Was it the way Clark kept her head up, even when the shots weren't falling? The way she stayed late after practice, putting in extra work? Or maybe it was that fire in her eyes, the refusal to back down, no matter how tough things got. Whatever it was, White's early defense of Clark wasn't just talk, it was a statement. A bold declaration: I believe in this kid, and you should too. And you know what? That faith started paying off. As the season went on, Clark found her rhythm. She wasn't just surviving in the WNBA, she was thriving. By the end of the year, she had shattered 62 records and earned a spot on the All-WNBA first team.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
Caitlin Clark finished up one of the most remarkable years of basketball playing up in quite some time.
By the end of the season, Caitlin Clark wasn't just another rookie, she was a once-in-a-generation talent, exceeding every expectation. And Stephanie White? She looked like a genius for believing in her from the start. Defending Clark is one thing, but actually coaching her? That's a whole different challenge, and that's exactly what White is signing up for now. If she could support Clark this much from the sidelines, just imagine what she can do as her head coach. The league isn't ready for what's coming. You all thought Clark was dominant before. Just wait until you see what Stephanie White has in store. This isn't just another coach-player duo, it's a basketball mind meld that's about to leave the rest of the WNBA in the dust.
I think the greatest thing is just, for me, having been a part of the WNBA for 25 years, having worked on both sides of it in the media and in the coaching realm, and being a player in this league as well.
Let's break it down. Stephanie White isn't just another clipboard holder. She's done it all: player, analyst, coach, you name it. And now, she's bringing all that experience to fine-tune Caitlin Clark's game. It's like Clark is getting a masterclass in basketball from every possible angle. But here's the million-dollar question. Can White really take Clark to the next level? Clark already had a historic rookie season, so how much better can she really get? Well, buckle up, because White's offensive philosophy is practically tailor-made for Clark's skill set. White is all about maximizing player potential, and with Clark's sky-high ceiling, the possibilities are endless. Get ready to see Clark running plays that leave defenders spinning. And here's the best part: when White spoke to Clark the night before her hiring was announced, something special happened. Pure basketball magic.
This is the moment that we've been waiting for. So I don't know if you prepare for it as much as you just embrace it, embrace where we are. Think about the momentum moving forward, where we wanted this league to be and where we still aspire for it to go. And just embrace this moment, embrace this opportunity, continue to help this team, this franchise be better, position ourselves for success.
But here's where it gets really interesting. White isn't just focused on sharpening Clark's strengths. She's got her eye on the areas where Clark can still get better. We're talking defense, shot selection, leadership, all the little details that turn a great player into a legend. Can you imagine what this partnership could lead to? We're not just talking about breaking records, we're talking about shattering them, rewriting history, making people forget there were ever records to begin with. White's coaching expertise plus Clark's generational talent? That's not just a perfect pairing, it's the kind of combination that changes the game forever. Think Michael Jordan with Phil Jackson. Sue Bird with the late, great and Donovan. Magic Johnson with Pat Riley. You get the idea, and as mind-blowing as this White-Clark duo is going to be, it's not the whole story, because let's not forget, the Fever aren't just about Caitlin Clark. White has big plans for the entire team, the Indiana Fever. They're about to become the hottest show in town.
Yeah, it's exciting. Certainly I was born and raised in Indiana, and so have a lot of pride in Indiana basketball, and a lot of pride in the Fever organization, being a player and a coach there. And it's exciting what's happening with the organization and where they are. I mean, most organizations have their ups and downs, certainly. But I'm proud of the growth of the Indiana Fever. Excited, about the future of the Indiana Fever.
Stephanie White isn't just building a team, she's igniting a basketball revolution in Indiana. But here's the million-dollar question. Can she really turn this young squad into a legit contender? Think about it, the Fever's roster is stacked with young talent just waiting to explode. You've got Aaliyah Boston, the 2023 Rookie of the Year, ready to dominate the paint. Then there's Kelsey Mitchell, coming off the best season of her career and the perfect backcourt partner for Caitlin Clark. And let's not forget the rising potential of Lexi Hull, Temi Fagbernal, and Grace Berger. This team isn't just talented, it's loaded with players on the verge of something special.
Look at this. She set several WNBA and rookie records during her historic first season. She was named the 2024 Rookie of the Year, of course, and her play, it really took off as the season went on, especially after the Olympic break.
But talent alone doesn't win championships. That's where Stephanie White comes in. She's not just any coach, she's a player development guru. Remember what she did with the Connecticut Sun? Back-to-back semifinals. WNBA Coach of the Year. That wasn't luck, that was pure coaching skill. And let's not forget, she took the Fever to the finals in her first season as head coach back in 2015. But now, some of you might be wondering, can she really turn this young team into a contender? Let me tell you something, White's already got a plan. She's not just focused on Clark and Boston. She's looking at the entire roster, figuring out how to maximize every player's potential.
I think that the thing that's made this Indiana team, I think fun to watch for everybody is just that they play with so much joy, right? Like they're young, they enjoy the game, they have fun together, and they don't take things too seriously. So there's some good things in that too.
White has been raving about the Fever's late season surge last year, and that wasn't just a fluke. That was a young team finding its groove. And now, with White at the helm, watch out. But here's where it gets really interesting. White isn't just focused on the players she already has. She's thinking ahead. The Fever hold the number 8 pick in the first round of the draft, and you better believe White is ready to add even more firepower to this roster. And let's not forget, White knows Indiana basketball like the back of her hand. She's not some outsider coming in to shake things up. She was born and bred in Indiana. This is her home turf. She knows what it takes to win here. The pieces are in place. The talent is there. The coach is home. Now, it's time to see what this team can really do. The rest of the WNBA better be ready, because the Indiana Fever are coming. And they're coming hard.
Certainly experience, there's no substitute for it, especially understanding the different level that it takes in the playoffs. I think understanding certain time and score situations at that heightened level. But it's not the end all be all. And so, we got to go out, we got to play the game, we got to execute. We got to make sure that we play to our strengths on both ends of the floor, and put our best foot forward.